Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews, and we're looking at this week's episode of Smackdown Live. And this week's episode was in Seattle, and who's from Seattle? Of course, the GM, Daniel Bryan. And it was great. Daniel opened up the show, the crowd went mental, it was great, and Daniel just loved it. You can see the emotion on his face. Every time he comes back to Seattle, he always has a massive smile on his face, and the crowd just treat him like an absolute hero, and he deserves that. And then Daniel obviously pulling the show back after, he just like, come on guys, this show's only 2 hours long, and I love you, but let's get back on track. And he called out Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes out dancing and smiling and like, I've got no worries in the world, I'm coming out. And he comes out, and Daniel just goes, what the hell's going on with you? You come out dancing, smiling, but you pretty much helped the guy who tried to end your career win against Shane O'Mac. What's going on? And Sami gives off the same kind of, answer as he did last week. That it was pretty much, he was sick and tired of always trying to be the fan favourite and never getting anywhere. Always doing the hard work and always saying, look, I want to reflect in myself and be happy. Look in the mirror and know that I'm a good guy. And he went, but it never got me anywhere. I did all that and I tried doing it that way and it never got me anything. And then I looked at my best friend, KO, and he had championship after championship, and I was still below. And like Daniel Bryan went, look, Sami, we came from the same place. I've known you 13 years, and this is not you. And then Sami went, yeah, Daniel, you were the best wrestler of our generation. Hinting Daniel can't wrestle anymore, and we know Daniel Bryan cannot wrestle, and pretty much stating that Daniel was the wrestler they all looked up to. He was their generation's greatest wrestler. But now, he doesn't want to be anything like Daniel. And that, you could tell that really upset Daniel. Because like Daniel said at the start, he wanted Sami Zayn on Smackdown Live because he thinks he is the next big thing. He thought it was going to be, and he doesn't like what Sami's become. Then Kevin Owens comes out. Kevin Owens stirs the pot against Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. Great chemistry. All three guys' promo work was absolutely top again. Sami was a bit weird at the beginning. Not weird, but it was a bit too much. But once Kevin came out, he settled down and that great heel persona started coming out a bit more. And people were chanting, Sami sucks. And Kevin Owens and Sami were laying into Daniel, saying he's not able to wrestle anymore, so he's not that important anymore. And then Kevin Owens pretty much goes, you know what, Daniel, you are the authority figure now. You are the authority. You're everything you fought against, and now you are them. So you're just a sellout. That's what Sami Zayn said. And Sami Zayn, well, thank you, Kevin, you've opened my eyes again. He is he is exactly what you say he is, and he's a sellout. And like the crowd just went mental. Like it was great reactions, great promo. Daniel walks out of the ring. Sami and Kevin are taking the mick, still laughing at him, saying, oh, that's all you're good at, walking out of rings now. And Daniel goes, right, and they went, where are you going, Daniel? And he goes, I'm going to find two guys to smack both of you in the face. And that pretty much was the kindle for this week's main event. Later on in the show, we did have Daniel Bryan go backstage and speak to both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they were like, oh, have you found anyone to punch us in the face? And he goes, no. Have you found two people to punch us in the face? And Daniel went, no. Everyone came up to me and asked if they could punch you in the face, but I've got Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura as your opponents. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn just went mental, and it was an absolute great. It was a good, and then went, that's the main event. That's pretty much the main event for tonight. Then we move on to that first match of the night, where we had Charlotte Flair, Naomi and Becky Lynch take on Natalya, Lana and Tamina in a tag team match. A pretty decent match. Lana, again, the weakest one out of the women's division. But it was good. It was a good way of putting her into a match. She's still technically a wrestler. She signed out as a wrestler now, as a star, not as a management now. but putting her in a tag team probably works better. She looked less inexperienced. She still looks like the most inexperienced wrestler on the roster right now. But, you know, with Natalya and Tamina, you know, they could hide quite a lot of the blunder and be in the ring longer. Charlotte, Naomi, and Becky, just absolutely fantastic. It's your typical women's tag team match. I hope the rumours are true that they're going to bring in a women's tag team division, because because the amount of times we have women tag teams matches, it just makes sense. But yeah, Charlotte got the win with the figure 8 on Lana. Obviously the one wrestler who has no momentum, and it doesn't make a difference if she gets if she submits or gets pinned. So booking wise, makes sense. And then Natalya tried to attack her, pushed her into the announcers table, tried to hit her with a chair. Charlotte kicks her, picks up the chair, Natalya bolts it away. And this shows the rivalry still continuing between Charlotte and Natalya. Like I've said before on Hell in the Cell reactions video with Jay, I still think Charlotte is definitely going to win the women's title at Survivor Series. Then we had Baron Corbin take on Sin Cara. I was surprised. This was a surprise match for me, because I didn't know Sin Cara was still at the company. So it was kind of interesting. You had Baron, when they were introducing Sin Cara, Baron Corbin takes the mic and says, "Does anyone here want to see me give Sin Cara an US Open Challenge invite?" And everyone went, "Yeah, yeah!" And he went, No. Great heel work there from Baron Corbin. He went, "No one gets an opportunity, blah, blah, blah." And then the match started, and Sin Cara just pretty much took him apart, kicked him out of a ring, did a great bit on top of the metal girder bit on the ring post, jumped off, took Baron Corbin out, and beat Baron Corbin by count out. So that was great. So that's Sin Cara getting a win, that's nice. But the downside is you're making Baron Corbin look weak, or unless this is how they're going to book Baron Corbin as a champion, where he's not going to have anyone take him on, but he's just going to constantly lose, which I could see happening. And it means we could have like a ladders match at Survivor Series for the United States Championship, because we could have several people beat the US champion and Baron Corbin win again. Then we also had Jinder Mahal come out and do his big promo. They were showing a lot of stuff from his trip in India. It looked interesting. Actually, it looked quite interesting from that point of view. Big crowds, but that, if you're a big WWE fan, it doesn't matter if it's Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, or any of those guys who go out. It's like in the UK, if you know that you're going to have a signing of Becky Lynch, Charlotte, any superstar, the crowds are usually quite massive anyway. So, but they were pretty much stating that Jinder Mahal in December is going over to India, and he will be defending the WWE title in India. And he was doing the welcome, and then Jinder Mahal did his challenge for Survivor Series, where he challenged the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, saying that he's beaten everyone worthy on Smackdown Live, Randy Orton, Nakamura, and now he's looking, because no one here respects him for being their champion, even though half the crowd was shouting, "You're not our champion," saying, "Oh, I've beaten everyone, I don't need to worry anymore." And it was just it was a good little promo. I mean, AJ Styles comes out and says, "Hold on, you haven't beaten me. I am the face that runs the place. I am the man who built Smackdown Live." And it's true, AJ Styles, and the crowd were melt when AJ came out anyway. Jinder tried to attack AJ defended himself, took out the Singh brothers, took out Jinder Mahal, and it looks like AJ is going to be #1 contender for the WWE title, which is possibly going to happen after Survivor Series, after the trip in India. I reckon that's when AJ gets the belt back, because let's be honest, there's no way they're going to have Mahal hold the belt to WrestleMania. You need it on someone who's possibly the most popular wrestler on the show, and AJ is the most popular wrestler. And let's be honest, we all want to see Nakamura versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania this year. Then we had a rematch from Hell in a Cell where it was Dolph Ziggler take on Bobby Roode, and it was not a great match for either of them. It was very, very much. It wasn't great. Both guys came off looking mediocre, and that's poor because Dolph Ziggler's one of the best sellers in the company. Bobby Roode's one of the best wrestlers in the company, and the chemistry between them isn't great, and you can tell. So this is a massive disappointment for me as a fan. I mean, Dolph got pulled up the sights and got the win. It was a reversal. It was 50-50 booking. Again, WWE doing the 50-50 booking again, and it was just so disappointing. There is a few things I did want to talk about, which was backstage before we talk about the main event. We had a Pulp Fiction version of the Fashion Files, which was great. Fashion Files absolutely fantastic. You had the Ascension and the Breezango just absolutely working well. Tyler takes a bite out of the burger, falls on the floor, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's allergic!" And they essentially go, "We can show you how to save him, but you have to be our best friend." And Fandango's like, "Oh god, yeah, all right." And he's back to it, and he's like, "I've got no allergies." Tyler Breeze wakes up before he puts this needle in his chest, and it's like, "I've got no allergies. It's just a bun. It was just disgusting." And they're essentially like, "It was a gluten-free bun." And Tyler Breeze is like, "We love hot gluten. We love hot gluten." Pretty much, and they're pretty much like the Bludgeon Brothers are. Like the Ascension are saying the Bludgeon Brothers are the guys from 2B, are still the 2B, and they're saying, and then the suitcase disappears, which Fandango was playing about with at the start of the segment, and like the Ascension's like, "You know what that means? Fashion Files 4, assemble!" And they're like, "No, we're just gonna walk out. No, I'm so angry, I'm walking out." And they walked out on the Ascension. It was brilliant, great. That was really good. Fashion Files, again, positive. Absolutely working it, brilliant. Then you had, also backstage, you have Aiden English walking through the corridor, singing and stuff like that. Then he's like really angry because two guys are on the phone, talking, while he's singing. And he's like, "What kind of music are you into?" And then the New Day just pop out, and they start going crazy and eating the New Day's breakfast cereal. And then Rusev comes out angry, like, "No more New Day, no more. From now on, it's Rusev Day, Rusev Day." I love Rusev Day. We need that, a national holiday for the whole world, Rusev Day. And then New Day's like, "It's Rusev Day again," and they started doing his theme tune, and they like walk off, and Rusev's like, Aiden English is about to sing the Rusev song, and Rusev goes, "No." And that was good. Like, no, a good backstage promo again. I found that great. And then we had the Bludgeon Brothers do a promo, another built-up promo thing where they're on big screen. Again, I'm disappointed Luke Harper's been put back into a tag team, and now he's back to being a heel. He could have so much potential being a babyface. Bit of a shame, but we'll wait and see. They were a good tag team back in the Wyatt family, so it makes sense that to put them back together. See, they will be a good tag team. I think they're probably one of the best tag teams once they get some momentum. Lose a bit of that gimmick, too much of a gimmick. Get rid of the hammers. Just let them be themselves. You can still have them look, savage, but you don't have to have the hammers. I think that's a bit of keep the name. That's fine. You know, look at what the fashion police have done. You know, Breezango, just absolutely. You know, it was a really bad gimmick, and they built it up to be something one of the best segments and best teams in SmackDown. Then we also had Gable and Benjamin squaring off between the Usos, doing a bit of a rap. That was okay. It wasn't anything special. The Usos looked more like baby faces because there was a bit of a pop for them when they turned up during the interview with Renee Young. And then the Gable and Benjamin seemed a little bit like I was going to say asses, but they did. They seemed like, oh, you know, we're going to take these belts now. And the Usos about to shake their hands, and Benjamin and Gable just walked away. I was like, damn, that's a bit harsh. But yeah, those were the backstage segments. They were very strong. There were some really strong ones. Like, again, you got the Luke Harper and Rolling bit, which the Bludgeon Brothers, God, yeah. But apart from that, it was fine. Maybe that goes to our main event now. This was, it was a good match. It was the first time Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was teamed up on SmackDown Live. It worked really well. The match was a good back and forth. Nakamura and Randy Orton have got a good chemistry together, working together. And then you got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who used to be tag team back in the Ring of Honor time. So definitely a good little, you know, sneak peek to seeing what they can do. And, you know, back and forth. Sami went for a table. Kevin Owens pushed Randy Orton into the barricades. It caught a few times. Nakamura got his leg taken out by Sami and KO. And then pretty much Randy Orton's getting ready to do his second ring DDT. About to do it. Sami, low blows. Randy's in the corner, holding himself. Luma kick, 1, 2, 3, gets the win, and that's it. I mean, afterwards they go backstage, they're celebrating, and they're like, "Oh, who's next? What's next, Daniel? What are you gonna do next?" And Daniel goes, "I'm not doing anything next week. Shane O'Mac's doing something. He's back." And the shock on their faces, but then they go out and still celebrating, saying that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn own SmackDown Live. They run the show. And the best line of the whole night, Sami hugs Kevin Owens, and they're like, Kevin Owens like, "This is my best friend. Hold me tight." And that's why Sami's holding him and going, "Hold me tight." And I was giggling. I was laughing my head off at that. But yeah, that was SmackDown Live for this week. Not too many matches. There wasn't a lot of matches in it, but the segments and everything worked well. So it was a decent episode this week. A lot of funny bits, a lot of build up for what's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks, I feel. But definitely a positive episode for SmackDown Live. But yeah, if you do agree, put in the comments. If you don't agree, also put in the comments. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. If you do like our videos, please like them, and you can subscribe as well. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. I'm at Boise88, and I'll see you guys next week for our Raw review.